It's like, oh, we've just had a terrible defense. Our crossfires, our site defenses are god awful, and now we've got to do it again. But yeah, they did sort of find their footing a little bit. They found the Achilles heel of the big attack and worked out how to really counter them on their defense quite late on, a little bit too late on, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, it made things interesting. And I think it will make things interesting here as we go into Ancient. Without further ado, we're into the game. All the players are connected and they're ready to rumble. Can we see Big take this 2-0? Or are Monte going to bite right back and bring us to a third?
Obviously, context is a little bit different now, right? Because you talked about how they weren't too confident on their defense side, but keep in mind, now you're watching Ancient. It's a completely different map, and the dynamic of Ancient is much more heavily. B-side hit about to come through from Big, though. Flashes at the ready. Robin getting ready for his bomb as well. Cheeto, 2 players from Ram. Boros is locked out of this bomb site, courtesy of the smoke. I think he has an inkling of an idea where that bomb is planted, but he doesn't quite have enough leeway into the site.
Oh, of course, Bond beeping away, and a kit on Krasnal, so they have got a bit of time to make this happen. What a shot from DemQQ. Flash over the top. That's going to facilitate their push in, and that headshot might just be the catalyst to get this retake done. Tapping. Young Boros, they get it all done. Oh my goodness, back and forth, but Crimbo knows he just has to play the clock. If he found that kill onto DemQQ, it would have been it, but I think he's just about gotten the fuse, and Waro gets away with 2 HP. That is unbelievable.
I love how DemQQ just goes for the Ninja Turtle strategy, and he just sits on the bomb, turns his back, and hopes that they just shoot him in the shell.
Yeah. Oh,
You realize that there simply wasn't enough time to go the long way of actually getting the kill and then sticking the bomb, but really good start for Monte. Obviously, it did get a little sloppy. I think Biggs definitely had a better chance in that round, but they're thanking their lucky stars that it ended the way it did. Now, early Molotov from Sumdai Young. They want to take early mid control. 2 players at the ready. Waro is going to be joining his teammate as well, so very difficult for these pistols to actually find any room unless they can get past DemQQ on A.
Yeah, big headshot from DemQQ. Oh, does he follow up with another? No, the pistols overwhelm him, and Big. Well, they're on an eco here. They've just got some deagles to work with, but they're getting a bit of ground with it. There's another! Oh my goodness! All right. Sumdai Young comes in to pick up the pieces, but they were scattered all over the place.
Big sigh of relief here for Monte. I mean, they're just like, okay, started off on the CT side. First 2 rounds out of the way. Now we got to focus on the gun round. They know how their defense went, and they don't want to make it happen once more. Hyped, of course, on the AWP once again. He's got massive size 14 shoes to fill.
Size 14? That's like Shaquille O'Neal.
Pretty much.
Think he can dunk?
Maybe. See if he can dunk on Monte, though. That's the big question. Deployed. Oh, Boros, you've done an absolute unit of damage here. And the fact that he's been able to get away with the bomb as well, that puts him in a prime position to stop them, even with the numbers disadvantage. Boros gets exploratory, knows that Tito could also be around the corner. Oh my goodness, he's so quick with the USB. He could just get away with the ace, Josh. Boros, he's been doing it all by himself, but Crimbo has a decent chance at bringing it back still. Bomb collected, 1:05 on the clock, and Boros is out of commission. Time to punch the numbers in. Sumdai Young rotating in. There it is. They know each other's position. It just comes down to the aim duels now. Smoke to separate them. Sumdai Young flash to give himself a little bit more leg room, and he's going to try to dance around the hill. Gets the better of him, but Sumdai Young is better on the spray. There it is. Monte still in the driver's seat, but Boros was definitely knocking on the passenger side window.
Wow, that spray just crazy messy. You feel like that should have gone to them, but that's awkward. Awkward way for the round to end, especially with a buy like that. Now they come in once again with actually a really funky investment. Remember, all of these rounds so far, they've had the bomb down, and they've actually become fairly close, so it does keep the cash flowing. Yeah, half investment on 4 then. Keto on the Hero AK. He had a monstrous game in the first, so no surprise that he's got a bit of confidence to maybe be the hero. Is Boros going to boost on DemQQ? This could be cool. No, they just swing together. And no one's here, but they clear ramp. Valuable information.
The problem is that Monte have some Dayong on A, and he's on a bit of an island right now. He's going to have to go for a very different defense here. Swings out with the M4, and although they've only got pistols to throw at him, they can also be very deadly if put in the right hands. Now, an attempt to salvage the A4 is going to go awry because Rasmal is there on the case. Gets away with a bit of a freebie as well, and some more icing on that cake. Keto, 1-on-4, AK available, but it's really just about clawing out a few eyeballs than it is about getting the round.
Spamming away, Keto, 1v3, oh, needs to deny this defuse, the bullets are close, he does damage onto Krasnal, but it's not enough. Krasnal flies in for the util at the end as well, he's playing a ballsy game. But there it is, 4-0, Monte delivering. And coming in with far more ferocity than I certainly was expecting. Now, these guys are hardened, experienced players. They got a whole load of mental resilience, right? They're not going to be sulking about map 1, but I do think it's very difficult in a series like this, when there's a lot on the line, to get over a map loss like that. And, yeah, just come into the number 2 with the confidence. They're doing it very, very well indeed.
Away with such an important kill there. Low tries to peek Albaquitos on his case very quickly. ACTs, they are not going to get away with it at all. Just Boros that is able to stay alive for a little longer, and Big might finally have a way to get back into this game.
On a 2v1. One that Boros could, in fact, no, sorry, I'm looking, I'm thinking Tabson's dead, he's not, he's on 1 HP, you can barely see it. Boros wants nothing to do with this. He'll carry that M4, no, in fact, we're going to retrieve the AWP, so, yeah, a bit of value comes through, and despite the fact they've taken 4 on the trot, and it's a real testament to how close many of these rounds have been, they actually don't have a lot of money, so, yeah, important that he does carry across that AWP, because I don't know what the buy's going to be like moving into this next one. He might be able to drop an MP9 over to Sumda Young, and Waro DemQQ can buy. Krasnal will have to be on a FAMAS, I guess. Unless they decide to just half invest around it, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, not a whole load of cash to work with. Kind of broken, cracked.
I mean, on the T side of Ancient, it's just about chaining a few rounds together. Put yourself in a better position to take control of the CT side. Big, they've gotten their foot through the door. It's about making sure they can actually make a case for themselves now. Money, not great on Monte, so there's a good chance that Big can shut out their economy as well.
Round number 6. Money in play, weapons in play here for Big, and snipers come out. Of course, Boros is able to save that AWP. That's dropped over to Waro. Hype's got one of his own. Aggression here. The M4 maybe gets more than he bargained for as he meets the receiving end of Crimbo. A good early opening for Big.
Oh man, Monte not really winning too many duels, but Boros wants to change that fact. No peak commences. Some Young could be absolutely brutal with this MP9, which he does. Crimbo now on an island, and he's about to... Well, nobody's getting his SOS message. It's just an AWP that he's staring down the barrel of.
Well, 5-1, Monte. Looking hot. They're on a bit of a streak again. They bite right back after an unfortunate round loss. And I think the confidence is really resonating. Round number 7. Money's still here for Big, but of course, if they don't carry any of these weapons across, they don't win the round, they won't have much in the next. Nade to come around the corner. Oh, it's a slam dunk. What a nade from Some Young. Such a great start as well. Gives them the man advantage before they even have to take any fights.
Oro. Great opener over towards ramp. And now he knows that he doesn't really have to contest the issue any further. Big looking a little lost here.
Big opening kill from Boros. Crimbo. Oh, headshot. 2-on-2. Something more to come out of this, perhaps, as DemQQ follows up with one head. Not seen and hyped. And what to do? 2 to find. Reads perfect. Boros taken out, and a 1v1 bomb to go down. But he's left guessing where DemQQ is going to come from.
Very difficult spot to be in if you're an AWP player. No idea that he's going to come out a donut, and, well, it's just a game of rock, paper, scissors here. Definitely don't want to be on the losing side of that. Monte, pretty comfortable CT side, all things considered. We talked a little bit about how starting on the CT side after not having won any rounds could really affect their mental, and this is where I'm starting to think, you know what, it's a good thing they were able to have a small comeback on the CT side, even if they weren't able to close out Mirage. Just that factor of being able to have had a decent defense definitely helps out quite a lot in this case.
Well, hyped. With his AWP once again. But Monte's still stealing the show. DemQQ aggressive, hyped, caught out. Oh, he's just struggling here. With a man advantage, they're in a good stead.
Look at how much space Big are starting to get. They're going to have to get past some Young, though, and that's going to be the biggest difficulty. 2 players collected. Krosnell moves into the battle as well, and by the time all is said and done, Crimbo's the only one remaining. How is this such a comfortable game for Monte? I just don't get it.
Big kill from Warrow. And yeah, I'm confused as well, to be perfectly honest. This is looking like a breeze, a walk in the park. And Big, a team that took down 2 Titans in just the last sort of 8-9 days on this map. It's very bizarre. I really don't know where this is coming from Monte, to be perfectly honest. But they're playing well. They're playing really well. They should get an 8th here as well. A bit of a freebie comes out with just pistols.
Big, they're about to do things the old-fashioned way. Tech9's about to rush into a bomb site, and let's see if these pistols are going to pay dividends. can't be overwhelmed. Taps in, gets two big openers, hyped as well. And now all of a sudden, the answer just pistols all along, Josh.
Possibly. DemQQ in a 1-on-3. A lot to do. Big headshot, though. The issue is he's against the guns now, but surely he doesn't snatch this away. If he pulls this off, it's unbelievable. And another whiff spray from Crimbo. It was Crimbo last time around that had a duel very similar to what we just saw there. And he choked it. He does it again. Oh, it's brutal.
Do not want to be in the shoes of Big right now. They've lost a couple 1v1s, they've lost a 2v1, they've lost a round where they get a bomb site with just pistols, so what could have effectively been 6-5 or something along those lines, it's 8-1. Obviously, you still can't count them out of it just yet. This could still very well be an 8. They could still make it a 4 to 5 rounds, and that's definitely serviceable if you're playing a map like Ancient, but it's not a good place to start. Play a strong default, just waiting it out, not hoping that Monte is going to make mistakes, try to go for some aggression, but it's not happening.
On the ankle. Oh, narrow miss from Warro. Uncharacteristic from him. He's been really good so far. Molly lands right on. Does a bit of damage just to extinguish, but yeah, he'll slip away. Actually takes a big chunk from that one too, but 8-1, still looking to make this 9. I cannot believe Big lost that 3 versus 1. I think that's going to be playing on their confidence so much right now.
Just a matter of getting it done the old-fashioned way now, make those guns work. The bomb down. And we've been in this position before, Josh, where they get the bomb down, they have their guns, they've got everything, but they just cannot close it out. Will they do it this time?
I mean, Monte's retakes have been absolutely fantastic. 1 for 1 to get things rolling. Another whiff from Crimbo, and Boros can follow up. Faven trades even. DemQQ with another, and a man advantage. Bomb still got time on it. Oh my goodness, Krasnal just swings out wide and gets absolutely demolished. 9-1, Monte. What is going on right now?
And you start to wonder, what is it that's not even working out? Because so many of these times, it feels like the cohesion as a team simply isn't there when they require their numbers to actually be leveraged against the other squad. Like, we see them in 2v1s, we see them in 1v1s, we see them in post-plant situations that should be going their way. Any of these situations that should be Big's rounds, they're ending up going to Monte off the back of individual brilliance from Monte. So, at this point, you can't even give too much credit to Monte. You're starting to wonder what's going wrong with Big instead.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, right? Monte are playing well, and I don't want to take away from that either. They're having a good game, but there's a lot of whiff shots from Big. There's a lot of bizarre situations where they just absolutely shouldn't be losing, right? The 3v1 is a brilliant example. There is no excuse ever to be losing a round like that, and they were peaking individually, 1 by 1. They gave him 3 individual gunfights. Can't be making mistakes like that. Not at a time like this. In the first map, the huge win, the beating your opponents on their own pick might just go to waste.
Wouldn't be surprised at all if this goes to map number 3, which is Nuke, by the way, for anybody tuning in late. Big. Had to show presence here on the A site. Some Die Young knows that he's got a massive advantage in how far he is from them. They just leverage that E1S to give Gibbs. Got not really a whole lot to say about the chaos because it never seems to go the way of big.
Yeah, even in these kind of scrappy situations, it's still always going to Monte. The trades are even, but they always end up with a one-man advantage. They always end up with their head just above, just in front of the line, just above water. It's just so awkward. Time and time again, we see it. Rifles out. AWP on either side. Hyped and Waro. A long way to go for Big. There's 4 rounds left in this half, and I think they recognize the importance of making them go their way, because if they don't, then this map at least, is going to be over very quickly.
Yeah, Monte just showing us the average smurfing matchmaking experience at the moment. It doesn't even look like a fair contest with how good they're looking at the moment. Big though. Decent chance to fight back, but Boris has something entirely else to say. Even before he falls, he puts Tabson in a position where he's one headshot away from a player like SDY. And with the bomb collected, it's time to make a move. 55 seconds remaining. Smoke ready. The good thing is that Waro has an AWP, right? So it's a little easier to take that duel if you've got utility. They still need to play it very carefully. Now, Waro's going all the way around, and if they both come in from ramp, this is something I don't expect Crimbo and Tapson to expect at all.
No big shot. Waro, no way. Another situation where the bomb's down on the B site in the 2v2, and it looks like they're going to lose it. Molly cuts off any major chance for Crimbo to get back in here. He does have a smoke, and Waro, it's a little bit awkward, but yeah, there you go. Sunday Young's just going to hold it down. There's really nothing that Crimbo can do.
Yeah, he had 12 points of health, so even if he tried to rush through the Molotov, it's just a done deal.
Well, AWP on either side. Sunday Young. Spamming through, nothing there. Feels like Big have quite consistently been able to get onto that B bomb site and get that bomb down over and over again. It's the holding the fort. It's the post plant that's the struggle. This time, they try their luck on A, and well, they have a little bit more success with it. Lots of kills. Hype follows up with a double. Boros left by himself, and he has to save. Look at the score. It's 11-1, and look at the money. It's broken. It's absolutely broken for Monte. Boros desperate to try and get that AWP, but now he's under a whole world of pressure. There's no way he gets away with this alive. It's being flanked.
Yeah,
almost hits the shot, but there it is.
The thing is, right, Monte's economy being in this position is just a reflection of how close this game has been. It's not like Monte's been getting away with these, like, flawless 5-man alive rounds. No, it's not the case at all. Instead, you're looking at a team that has barely scraped by in so many of these rounds, and what looks like a really difficult or really far-fetched game for Big on the scoreboard, it's actually a lot closer than you think, because so many times, it's just those crucial duels that have gone the way of Monte. I really like the preemptive use of the tactical timeout, though, for Monte. You know, you got to make sure that you're not going to be making any mistakes. You know for a fact that you don't have a whole lot of weaponry, and if Big can make it to 4 rounds, although that's not the best half in the world, it's still pretty serviceable. Slap a pistol round on the back of it as well, suddenly you're playing maybe 11-7. All of a sudden, it's doable. Especially off the back of the CT side, it's not like we can count Big out just yet.
Absolutely not. AWP's in the picture. 2 on the board for Big. Still an opportunity if they can take the next couple of rounds to, well, make this a decent half. A recoverable one, we'll call it. Decent little trade at the start, though. Boros going 1 for 1. Close. MP9 could go huge almost, but look how much damage he's done.
Ooh. Don't want to be in that position if you're Big, and this Donut player needs to play it perfectly. Keto, you're going to have to be very careful about how you use this held, because you're the only one that has it. Here he comes, pushing the Donut. Keto's played it perfectly. And Woro, now in a 1-on-3. He doesn't know how much HP Crimbo and Tabson have, but Keto has definitely granted Big a massive wish.
Well, there's a third. I mean, as I say, there's still a very long way to go, but it does become very doable at this point, right? The winnability shoots right up. If you take 4 rounds, you move over to your CT side, and all of a sudden you've got a bit of equity in the game. Number 15, the final of the half. Not a lot of money here for the CT side once again, so yeah, another good opportunity for Big. And it feels like a real shame. Monte have done so much work to have this massive commanding lead throughout this half so far. And right at the end, the final hurdle, they run out of money and they end up sort of dropping 2-3 rounds just off of the back of the fact that the firepower's not there. I think if they had rifles in that last round, that would have been theirs for the taking.
Yeah, Monte just trying to see whether or not this final round's going to stick to the wall. Some guy might be a menace in the snow. Lots of bullets coming his way, but the ones coming from Keto finally connect. Woro out on an island, but he's still making that op work. Wants to get super aggressive here on middle. Tucks away from the flashbang and hyped in Grimbo. Real good counter-strike here to make this work. Can't believe he gets away from that Molotov. And great positioning from Boros means that Crimbo is no longer going to be alive. Really good half from Monte. I'm not sure how they get away with that. But of course, the action is not done just yet. We'll be right back after a very short ad break to see where this is going to go.
Well, welcome back, everybody. A 12-3 half. Monte, they have been on fire throughout this map. They're showing no signs of slowing down. The T side gets off to a good start. And headshots left, right, and center. A dink early on as well leaves them nice and vulnerable. And a man advantage here for Monte. Bomb still in hand, but they've only got mid control. Now they have to decide where they want to try and plant it. Thompson creeps up. Good damage, but still not the kill.
This pistol round is everything, Josh. There's no way they can mess up on this. Good collection from Tapsen. At least Waro's very low, so there's a chance for Big to make sure that this pistol round starts to go their way. Waro wants to get a little exploratory. Wants to try and peek into CT, and if he can get the timing right, this could all be over. Favin, now, massive responsibility to try and get this 1 versus 2 done. Great opener with the USB. Waro's very low. Again, this could be it. The pistol round, non-negotiable. He's got to get it done. 10 seconds on the defuse, so he needs to find this final member very quickly. Has to peek into Cheetah. Has to try and bait him out. What the hell is going on?
Oh. Yeah, he's lost right now.
Yeah, they're just looking for each other. And suddenly, Favin, he's out of commission. Doesn't even matter if you get the kill there, because Monte should not have been able to get away with that round.
Yeah, that is just ridiculous. Favin's just not even hungry for that kill at all. I mean, I say hungry for it, right? He's just not looking for that kill at all. There's nothing to lose. Like, there's no reason to save in that situation. Okay, he didn't have a kit, didn't have a lot of time, but yeah, plays that very, very bizarrely. And to be honest, that was a must-win pistol round for them. Without that round, they are in trouble.
It makes perfect sense why Big would just go for an immediate investment, right? They want to make sure that they can keep Monte as far away from the finish line as possible. Once you let them get to that 14, 15 round mark, then all it takes is a fluke of a round to make things work. Early nade doesn't deliver any damage. Now, what I'm very interested in seeing are these scouts, because Favin and Hyped, they have a lot banking into this. Hyped sniping down middle, Favin over towards the A site. And if these guys don't start handing out haircuts anytime soon, this is going to be a problem. There it is! First customer for Hyped. Wants to go for more. Blocked out by the smoke now, but they are very happy right now that they've been able to at least get the opener.
Oh, man advantage here for Big. Feels like the first time in a while, perhaps. Can they hold on to it, though? Rifles out on the other side, of course, and the firepower definitely leaning in their favour. Double scout in play, too. Favor and Hyped. Two snipers. Waro. Awkward gunfight, but they both get off with a similar amount of damage, and looks like they're going to try and funnel into the B site. 25 seconds on this clock, though. Keto with a lot to do, and a nice shot to get things going.
That was a really important kill, but whether or not they can bank on it is the big question. Favin trying to get pot shots through the smoke. And now that the bomb is down, it's all back to Monte being in a prime position. These two scouts definitely not making things any easier for Big. Trying to play the close angles. SDY, first kill. Favin looking for the final member as well. This time around, he doesn't want to make the mistake of waiting too long. And there it is. Finally, we see something go the way of Big. Even if it has to come off the back of scout rifles.
Wow. A long time coming, I guess, but Yeah, actually a really good round from them, considering they were against a solid investment there from the Monte squad. The fact that they've come in with just some pistols and a couple of scouts is fantastic, and got that done. Looks like we'll see another force here, though, from Monte. A couple of players on double eco, one with enough to go for an AK, so that's been put into Sunday Young's hands. Ordered himself, but yeah, haven't got any utility around it, or at least for Sunday Young he hasn't. There's 3 smoke grenades, 3 flashes. I'm not sure if that's going to be sufficient, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Oh, what a shot from Tabson. Good start.
Oh, big. Now they're starting to get fired up. They're now trying to make use of that CT side advantage. And little by little, if they can start to reel things back in, I wouldn't be too surprised if they can at least make it a close scoreline, similar to how Monte did. Now, the thing is, Josh, if they end up winning this game, that's going to be a massive mark on Monte. The reason I say that is because they've been losing every single luck-based encounter. They've lost all the 50-50s, they've lost every 1v1, they've lost situations where where you're circling around a pillar or something of that sort. So if Monte can still drop the ball on this game, then Big would have shown us that they've played a way better Ancient than we are giving them credit for. Sometimes the CS gods are just not on your side, and if you can defy them like Big could, then that would be definitely something to write home about.
I guess so. Spamming away, MP9s, yeah, just no trouble at all. Glock will be able to overwhelm. So 2 kills from Felico, not too bad at all. But it does sort of close the gap a little bit. Big. I can't imagine they pull this the distance, but there is only 7 rounds in it. And now they're on their CT side, they are looking more confident.
For Big, it's a matter of breaking down the economy time and time again. I'm really interested in seeing where Monte are going to be heading right now. They've got their chips lined up towards A. Crimbo is in a nice little off angle to try and catch them off guard, but he's the only defender here on the A site, so it will be a difficult duel. They're trying to peek through the molly. DemQQ is being an absolute madman the way he just swings out with his AK, but Tapson is not having any of it. 2 kills before he falls, and before they can really start to get the bomb down, the CTs are already making themselves relevant. One of their members falls, but Favin is too close to the action, nearly denies the bomb, but it should be doable now. Smoke on the bomb. Some Young doesn't know if it's being defused because he wasn't close enough to the action, and now that it is being defused, Favin needs to try and keep Some Young off of it. Bullets being missed, and Big will continue to fight on. Some Young just can't connect it.
Well, Big, keep the rounds coming. Rifles out again here for Monte. You know, they're at a point now where the money's coming in. Loss bonuses accumulating. 12-3 has become 13-7. So, 5 of the last 6 not gone their way. Today's rain over. AWP on hyped. Rifles on the rest as well. And I suppose a sufficient amount of util to maybe go for an execution. But funneling into this A site. Tabson fully blinded. Flash is brilliant. Spams away. Can't get it done. Crimbo. Oh, that's so messy. Should have been good for 2 there. That's a shame.
Oh my god.
They're just feeding them. They're just feeding them. What are they doing? They're going in one by one. They're just letting it happen. Walking into the blender.
Favin playing around the smoke. Oh my goodness. None of these duels ended up going the way of Big. And every time they peeked out and it looked like they were going to have the advantage anyway, they just end up losing their shots. They just end up missing their shots. Tabson doesn't connect any shots from Donut. Crimbo peeks out into the site, and he can't connect anything on the first wide swing, and then Keto walks into the blender as well. It's just a complete disaster on all fronts, and it seems like the massive unlock from the first half has carried itself into the next one as well.
Well, 14-7, Monte somewhat break the curse. They now face up against a very weak bite. They have a chance to push themselves onto 15 and likely a 16th as well if this one does go their way. Faven, oh, he's just caught with his pants down. Hyped good for a headshot, but fully blinded, spamming away. As he's still alive, finally gets dropped.
What?
Okay, things get
No!
dicey because Keto goes crazy.
Making that 5-7 work like an XM shotgun, and he even jumps around the corner with the MAC-10 to add insult to injury. What a round from Keto, man. If there's anything to keep them in the game, that's exactly it.
Yeah, a lifeline they've been given there for sure. So important. Round 23. A lot to do. Rifles out. Hyped down to that FAMAS on the other side of things. Warrior with an AWP, the rest on the rifles, but a couple of Galils here. Not without its contingencies. Oh, good damage through the smoke. Oh, it's actually a kill from Tabson. That's brilliant. What a start.
Oh, Some Die Young. I think he had a bit of a shot there in the smoke, but just gets overwhelmed. Now Big might be getting into the groove of things. You know, you get into the position where you start to build up a bit of a bank, you start to get consistent utility, you maybe demolish the economy of the opposing side as well, and all of a sudden you can start to have a bit of a party going. Now, I don't want to jinx it yet, because Big could still definitely drop the ball, as they have many times previously. And Monte's pistols, they are no joke. You know, when you've got the likes of Boris on your team, you definitely have to watch out for the Ds. Very early entry into middle. Some Die Young is rushing in with the MAC-10. How the hell does he win that duel when there's an AK trained on him? Hyped, now waiting around the corner with an AWP, trying to guess where that player is going to pop out of. The M4 suddenly becomes relevant, but by the time it does, Hyped has already made his mark. Waro with a Deagle. This 1-on-3 could not be any harder.
That's huge from Big. Double digits, 4 rounds. Doesn't seem too tricky now, does it? Absolutely perfect. Round number 26. We draw closer and closer to the finish line of this game. And Big might just be able to claw it back. Monte will be incredibly disappointed if they let this slip. Mirage felt like it was theirs. They got off to a really good start in the first half. Their T-side was fantastic. When they moved on to their defense, they really lost it. And they clawed it back. They did a great job on the comeback, but it was too little too late. They hadn't left themselves a great enough margin for error. Boros with a big opening, though. Headshot through the smoke, but Hype brings it back to evens. Oh, and again.
He's the man to watch right now. So much responsibility, and he welcomes it with open arms. DemQQ now wanting to walk into the A site. Crimbo lingers a little too long in the Molotov, but now that op could be put to good use. Flashbang to try to tuck him away, but there is so much going on here right now on the A site. But Crimbo, big sigh of relief for him as he somehow comes away with his life. With a minute on the clock now, Big aren't sure where this final contention is going to head to. Obviously, Boros has already started to find himself a bit of space over towards Cheeto, but by the time he has, Keto will also be part of the puzzle.
"3v3. Must win round here for Big. Crimbo low on health. Timing's everything. Crimbo holding with this AWP, though. There's no smoke to go into CT, so it'll have to be a flashbang to allow them to cross safely. That's if they do want to cross. 18 seconds left on this clock, and as it continues to tick, Warrior's going to get on this site. He's going to try and tap this bomb down. Faven, does he aggress? Does he try and deny? Holds his nerve, waits for him to fall back, and just when they get complacent, he doubles up. It's absolutely perfect. DemQQ good for 1, but still, 2 more to find. And he has no information on Keto, but it doesn't matter. DemQQ goes all the way to the moon. Oh my goodness, a 3K. The second was where it really hit. That spin around, a 180 for the headshot, is incredible.
That is just incredible work. And once again, Big have been falling to clutch after clutch. They've been falling to these 50-50s, random situations, and I don't even know what to say here, man. It seems like every case where they could have been in a position to dominantly win a round, they've just ended up dropping the ball.
Map point hit to take us to a third, make things interesting. Here we go. AWP out on either side, but Big do not have a lot of money to work with around that. So 3 smokes is all they have. Utility-wise, a MP9, a FAMAS, this is not great.
Yeah, definitely not. Still, a chance for Big to bring it to overtime. 3 players into Donut. Playing a default, playing a chill, so they can watch for them to come through. But it seems like Big are starting to win those duels. Favin and Tapson have gone pretty huge here. And Crimbo is in a very unorthodox angle for them to check at this point in time. DemQQ, though, is going to be hyper-vigilant of what could go on under his radar. Keto, now wanting to be part of the duel, takes away the AWP player, gets another kill on top of the back of that, and somehow Keto has gone big. 11 rounds. Seems like Big still want to be relevant here.
Yeah, they stay afloat. They stay afloat, and that's the most important thing here. 4 in a row required now. Still money, of course, in the bank for Monte. Getting a bomb plant there, too. Does them a lot of favours. We'll see where this one goes. Round number 27. Oh, okay. Only a half investment. So, kind of allowing Big to take this one a little bit. We'll see how things go. You know, sometimes the pistols at pace is the difference maker. Catches him off guard. Molly will keep him at bay. Nate does some good damage as well, but a bit of a shutdown. Yeah, nothing more to be said.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be yet another messy situation, but at least they can hold on to their horses this time around. Really incredible stuff from Big, and you can't take away any credit from some of these individuals. I mean, man, Keto and Favin have been going absolutely huge for the squad. Favin nearly sitting on 30 kills in regulation. Definitely want to see cases like this one. And, you know, I thought Hyped was really going to struggle in the squad, but it hasn't been the case. He's been going above and beyond in many of these rounds, and I think part of the reason that Big is even in this position where they can still choose to come back is because Hype has been hitting quite a few of those important shots, especially towards areas like Donut.
DemQQ. Molly in hand. Spams through the wall as well. Nothing connecting for now. This round's worth its weight in gold. Monte would be broken again if they don't take this. That's why they're proceeding with such caution. Previously, their B executions weren't perfect. Seen a couple of rounds now where they've funneled in and narrowly missed out. We'll see if that's all about to change.
Utility to try to keep him back, but Boros with the opener makes things oh so hard for them. 40 seconds remaining now. Flashbang for Favin to try and push in. At least he's been able to take Boros out of the equation. And now Tapson's going to have to try and hold them back. Favin, they're about to come your way. They push through the smoke. And there's a chance to make the spray work, but Krasnal will be able to switch targets. Hyped, Crimbo, and Tapson. Definitely a big advantage for them going into this round. Just a matter of being able to play those trades effectively, and you should be able to come out on top. Krasnell's responsibility is to dance around the pillar, and that AWP from Waro. Oh no, no way, Josh. Another 3v2? Is Big about to drop the ball yet again? Crimbo, you might have been able to slip past the AWP player, but you can't get past Krasnell. Monte, they have shut down Big. So many different situations where Big could have closed it out, where Big could have had the advantage, but it seems like Lady Luck was on Monte's side, and so many incredible individual plays as well from Monte. You really got to hand it to them. They had a super dominant first half on Ancient. Even though it got a little rocky when they headed over to the T side, it did eventually come back.